A thread by Ivan Penchikov. Breaking. Dominion Voting Systems Forensic Report. We conclude that the Dominion voting system is intentionally and purposefully designed with inherent errors to create systemic fraud and influence election results. The system intentionally generates an enormously high number of ballot errors. The electronic ballots are then transferred for adjudication. The intentional errors lead to bulk adjudication of ballots with no oversight, no transparency, and no audit trail. This leads to voter or election fraud. Based on our study, we conclude that the Dominion voting system should not be used in Michigan. We further conclude that the results from Antrim County should not have been certified. From the report, quote, the allowable election error rate established by the Federal Election Commission guidelines is 1 in 250,000 ballots, 0.0008%. We observed an error rate of 68.05%. This demonstrated a significant and fatal error in security and election integrity. From the report, quote, a staggering number of votes required adjudication. This was a 2020 issue not seen in previous election cycles, still stored on the server. The intentional errors lead to bulk adjudication of ballots with no oversight, no transparency, or audit trail. From the report, quote, significantly, the computer system shows vote adjudication logs for prior years, but all adjudication log entries for the 2020 election cycle are missing. The adjudication process is the simplest way to manually manipulate votes. From the report, quote, the lack of records prevents any form of audit accountability, and their conspicuous absence is extremely suspicious since the files exist for previous years using the same software. From the report, quote, removal of these files violates state law and prevents a meaningful audit, even if the secretary wanted to conduct an audit. We must conclude that the 2020 election cycle records have been manually removed. Other server logs before November 4th, 2020 are present. Therefore, there is no reasonable explanation for the security logs to be missing. These system changes affect how ballots are read and tabulated, and our examination demonstrated a significant change in voter results using the two different programs. Our findings show that the Central Lake Township tabulator tape totals were significantly altered by utilizing two different program versions, 1023-2020 and 1105-2020, both of which were software changes using an election which violates election law, and not just human error associated with the Dominion election management system.
I will be the greatest president that God ever created.